Lately, there's been a lot of talk about women and sex, thanks to the news about a possible female Viagra. Hey, why not? It's definitely a hot topic. So this morning, we wanted to talk with two Sexperts about what it all means to us.
Joining us now are the two sexual health experts, Mary Wallace-Yench and Rachel Braun-Scherl. Ladies, we're so thrilled to have you here with us this morning.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thanks so much.
Now, you've been talking about this topic for many, many years to countless, I imagine, women. Tell us about yourselves.
Well, we've had the opportunity to spend the last 15 years talking to women literally all over the world about all kinds of aspects of their reproductive health, including sexual satisfaction. And for the last 2 years, we've been very focused on improving sexual satisfaction.
This is what I wanted to talk about this morning. Viagra has been around for over a decade. The commercials are all during sporting events and every TV show that you see. But we were dealing with the male issue, but nobody talks or deals with the female issue. All of a sudden, the men are ready to go again. What do we do?
It's actually a big concern for a lot of women. We call it the Viagra wife syndrome, where he's ready to go back in business and nothing has changed for her. But part of the reason is that female sexual response is physiologically much more complicated.
I'm sure you'll be terribly surprised to hear that.
Physiologically different, right?
So the men's anatomy is built like a hydraulic pump. To simplify it, you pump blood in, the system works, everybody's good. But on the female side, there's behavioral issues, there's sociological, physiological, mental. It's not just in our heads, although our heads are part of it.
Someone once taught me that a woman is like a guitar, right? And here's the analogy. A man will grab the guitar and just play it. But, you know, the woman's like, well, hold on a minute. You know, I want you to tune the guitar, kind of play the guitar slowly, and then let's do the bamba, right?
Right, and it's not much different than how differently men and women communicate in general.
One of the things that I find interesting about this is that in every aspect of our lives as women, it seems that they deal with the male issue first. I mean, we even live in a world that was created by men, and we're trying to fit ourselves into it in a way. And the same with the sexuality.
Yeah, and our experience is that while everybody seems to be very relaxed about the discussion of sexuality, and as you said, we hear Viagra commercials all the time, in fact, people are very comfortable with male sexuality. They're not particularly comfortable with female sexual satisfaction.
We do a lot of focus groups, and we talk to women about this all the time. And once we give them the opening salvo or ask a question, we joke it's like the floodgates are open and you can't get them to stop talking because so many of them have never had the opportunity to share. They don't want to talk to their doctors about it. They don't want to think of it as having another problem. They don't want to talk to their friends about it because there's relationships with the partners and that somehow feels inappropriate. So where do they go?
Husbands.
And then God forbid they even open up and they talk about certain things that are private, and then they may be looked at,
They feel judged.
right, immorally,
right,
if you will.
And whereas for almost every other issue, women go to the internet, right? Go to the internet. That's the first place you go. Just try Googling some of these words, and you're going to end up in one of two places, at WebMD, which means you have to think it's a problem, or porn. And most of us don't do that because we actually don't want all that problem on our computers for the rest of our lives.
And, too, if you look at porn for any kind of solution to sexuality, again, that's created from the male perspective. It doesn't deal with us at all.
There's very little language we have discovered for women to talk about female sexual satisfaction. So when we speak to women and we say, describe great sex, they're actually a little stymied to come up with a lot of great words. But when we say, picture the last time or a passionate experience you have, you can see the movie playing in their head. They get it. They just don't. Exactly. Their face changes, and it changes so much that I can see when your face changes. It's just the language, the words around it have not yet been created, and that's one of the things.
I'm actually thinking of something right now.
Is there
I could tell.
Did you see her line up? Is there a way to get women talking and to make us socially less judgmental? We were talking in the dressing room that if men talk about their sexual past, their sexual experiences, guys are like, hey, way to go.
But if I say to a bunch of people, well, you know, I was with 20 partners before I got married, which, by the way, I was not.
And see, she has to put the clarifier
there you go. I just did my little editorial.
Disclaimer.
There you go. Well, one of the things you mentioned, the female Viagra. I mean, we're very excited that that seems to have started at least the conversation. We want to make sure that the conversation is more than just, is this drug right or is it not right? It really to give women the opportunity to ask the questions, to talk to each other just like this. Because what we find is when they start, they don't stop.
They don't stop.
The other issue is, from a media standpoint, there does appear to be a double standard in terms of what can get on air. So you see the Viagra commercials during Super Bowl games when kids are watching, and then there's a big controversy if Elaine Bryant model, who's a little buxom, is on during Dancing with the Stars. So there's a very much of a double standard about what's acceptable, and I think we've become so used to, almost immune to these ED commercials all the time, that it's really taking us away from the fact that that female conversation isn't happening.
We're being socialized. This morning, I hope we've helped some women who are watching start this process, start the conversations with their friends, with their doctors, with their neighbors.
With whoever, but just open up and be honest about your body, yourself, what you like and what you don't like.
And the questions you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So great to have you. This is a great conversation for us. We're going to continue it in the commercial break.
Go try that female Viagra.
We'll see if it ever gets through the FDA.
There you go.
We always want to hear from you out there, so send us your opinions or questions on this hot topic or maybe any other topic that interests you. All you have to do is go to thebalancingact.com.
Get in touch, and we may turn your input into another hot topic segment. We certainly love them, and thanks for being with us.